Welcome everyone. So today let's discuss about some Mendelian disorder disease. Okay. So first of all, let's discuss about the sickle cell anemia. Now, sickle cell anemia, it is actually an autosomal hereditary disorder, and this is actually caused due to the sickle shape appearance of erythrocytic cells. Okay, the RBC cells, they become sickle shape due to oxygen deficiency and causes the disease sickle cell anemia. Now, why this is actually caused? This is caused by the formation of the abnormal hemoglobin, okay, called the hemoglobin S. Now, normal hemoglobin is actually hemoglobin A, and the abnormal one is the hemoglobin S, which is formed due to the change in one amino acid in the sixth position of the beta chain. Now the glutamic acid is actually replaced by valine. Now already we have studied about transversion in mutation, isn't it? That means purine replaced by pyrimidine or pyrimidine replaced by purine. Here what happens actually, thiamine is replaced by adenine. That is, a pyrimidine is replaced by purine. Transversion occurs, a substitution mutation, which result into replacement of glutamic acid by valine, okay, for which this type of problem occurs. Now you see, this is the normal RBC cells, the erythrocytes, okay, which are circular or oval shaped. But due to abnormal production of hemoglobin S, these particular cells becomes sickle shaped, okay, sickle shaped erythrocytes, which then creates a problem for transportation of oxygens, okay. Now here actually this is the main thing. So this is the peptide chain which consists of these normal hemoglobin A peptide change, the amino acids. Now see the sixth position amino acid. Here the normal G is CTC. Okay, its complementary base is GAC, and when CTC is transcribed, it forms in mRNA GAG. Okay, which codes for glutamic acid. Okay, so this is the normal hemoglobin chain. But due to some abnormal defective conditions, what happens is this CAC, okay, this here it was CTC, this thiamine is replaced by adenine, and this adenine, its complementary base will be what? GTG, isn't it? For adenine it is thiamine, but when CAC is transcribed into mRNA, okay, what happens? We know that in mRNA thiamine is replaced by uracil. So here what happened? GUG will be formed. Okay, that means CAC is transcribed into GUG, which codes for valine. Got it? That means this is the abnormal hemoglobin S gene. Okay, so which causes the sickle cell anemia, sickle cell shape of the anemia cells, erythrocytic cells, which causes sickle cell anemia. Got it? So in very simple terms we can say that the glutamic acid is replaced by, see, the glutamic acid in the sixth position is replaced by valine, okay, due to this transversion. That means the adenine, thiamine is replaced by adenine, for which the coding on the mRNA strand will also change, which code with, and so it will code for a different type of amino acid. Actually, this occurs due to a gene that is situated in the chromosome number 11. Okay, now we know that in human beings the 46 chromosomes, isn't it? So here the number 11 chromosome, the gene is situated there, and which due to some defective conditions the substitution mutation occurs over there, okay, for which CAC is transcribed into GUG and it will code valine instead of glutamic acid, which causes the sickle cell crisis, and this is under oxygen deficiency conditions. Now here what happened, the erythrocytes having the hemoglobin S, they become sickle shaped. okay, and for which the cells cannot pass through the narrow capillaries. They have a tendency to clot and degenerate, which results into anemia. Blood capillaries get clogged, okay, blood circulation almost reduced, the tissues do not get oxygen, jaundice appears, the spleen and the brain get damaged, the patient feels acute physical weakness, headache, muscle cramps. So these are the different types of symptoms that occur in sickle cell anemia, okay. Now actually the gene for sickle cell erythrocyte is represented by HBS, okay, that is the abnormal gene, and the normal gene is HBA. So if we cross this one, then according to Mendelian inheritance, Mendelian principle, we get a ratio of 1:2:1, that is the offsprings produced will be homozygous normal, heterozygous carrier and homozygous sickle cell individuals in the ratio 1:2:1, because already in the last class we have said that these Mendelian disorder will strictly obey the Mendelian rule, isn't it, Mendelian principle. So accordingly they will occur in the ratio 1:2:1. The next disease is phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria, actually we have mentioned it in while we were studying about the pleiotropic genes, okay. This is also a inborn autosomal recessive metabolic disorder, which the homozygous recessive individuals, they lack the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. That means in the pyruvic, that means in our cells what happened, the phenylalanine reaction or the pyruvic acid pathways, they take place very smoothly, okay. That means phenylalanine, they get converted to tyrosine and subsequently reactions go on. But sometimes what happen, a gene that is present in chromosome number 12 is responsible for the production of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. But when this gene gets defected due to some problem, then what happened, the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is not formed. If this enzyme is not formed, that means the reaction cannot take place. Phenylalanine will not get converted to tyrosine. That means this phenylalanine gets deposited in the bloodstream, okay. If it gets deposited, then it causes the phenylketonuria disease, in which the offsprings, they show mental retardation, okay. Sometimes what happen, they are unable to walk, unable to talk, then decreased pigmentation of hair and skin. And moreover what happens, sometimes these babies which are born, they after their birth, after few weeks, these symptoms appear, and maximum time what happen, these do not survive for long. So these are the different defects that are occurring due to a single gene, okay. Now in sickle cell anemia also we have observed that only due to one particular gene the whole thing is changed, and in phenylketonuria also due to one particular gene the whole thing is being changed, okay. Now this phenylalanine, when the large amount is getting deposited, these are excreted in the urine, in sweat, okay, in order so that it can be extruded from the bodies. But what happened, this gets accumulated in the brain, which results into brain damage. That's why mentally retarded offsprings are produced. Got it? So that is phenylketonuria. The next disease that we will discuss is thalassemia. Thalassemia, actually this was discovered by Cooley and was termed by Whipple and Bradford. Okay, now here this is actually mostly prevalent in the Mediterranean regions. This is an autosomal recessive blood disease. Got it? And this is occurring due to mutation or deletion of genes that are controlling the formation of the globin chain of hemoglobin. Now for hemoglobin, actually the globin chain, it consists of alpha and beta subunits. So accordingly, if there is defect in this, mutation occurs in this gene, so anemia occurs. Now this can be divided into three types: alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia and delta thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia is caused by the defective formation of the alpha globin. Okay, here the chromosome number 16, it consists of actually two genes, HBA1 and HBA2, and simultaneously 4 alleles are there. If any one of the alleles get defected, then the persons are called to be silent carriers. If two of them are defected, then it is known as alpha thalassemia minor. But if more than that genes or alleles are defected, then it is what happened? The disease is occurring to its maximum extent. Okay, and then we call them as the infants as the hemoglobin births. Okay, now here what happened? The symptoms are anemia, jaundice, then hepatosplenomegaly, bone changes, okay, which will result in the stillbirth. That means the baby which is born without any sensation, okay, or immediately after the birth of the child it will die. So these are the various symptoms of the alpha thalassemia. Then beta thalassemia, simultaneously it occurs due to the decreased synthesis of beta globin. Now here the gene that is present, HBB gene, is present in chromosome number 11. So defect occurs in the allele for which the organism suffers from thalassemia minor if it is in lower extent. If it is in large extent, then thalassemia major. Here the symptoms are anemia, hepatosplenomegaly, cardiac enlargement and skeletal deformities. Okay, then delta thalassemia. So delta thalassemia, here what happens? Actually it is due to a defective allele of HBD gene which is present in the chromosome number 11. Okay, here this these genes get defected and for which thalassemia occurs, but this is actually occurring in very lower rate. Okay, adults have only about 3% hemoglobin containing of alpha and delta genes. That's why this is a minor disease. But alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia, these are quite serious diseases. Okay, now this is thalassemia. It is actually a quantitative problem of synthesizing few globin molecules. Okay, but as compared to this, the sickle cell anemia is a qualitative problem of defective functioning of the globin chain. Now both are occurring in the globin chain only, but one is due to quantitative problem and other is due to qualitative problem. Okay, so while studying the diseases, always remember you have to first mention who first discovered it, who termed it, what is the main cause of this disease, what are the symptoms. If types are there, you have to mention the types, how it is occurring in the person's symptoms, how it is occurring, to what extent these are harmful. So all these things you have to mention properly. So go through the videos, go through whatever I have said here, go through the books properly, it is mentioned over there. And if you find any problem in understanding, then please let me know.